State officials are warning of an invasive pest that is targeting holiday greenery. How you can spot it right now at 10. And new details tonight about the Christmas Eve homicide in Madison as the suspect makes his first appearance in court. Plus, shocking video from Texas. A camera is rolling the moment a semi-truck veers off a fog-covered highway.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. State officials are asking if you bought a natural Christmas tree this year or a wreath to take a closer look at it right now. Adam Duxter is in now to explain why a possible infestation could be the reason why. Adam?
Well, many of us were busy putting on lights, ornaments, and tinsel. The state of Wisconsin says something else could have been tagging along on the Christmas tree.
This year, it's estimated between 25 and 30 million people will buy a real Christmas tree and bring it into their home. And where there is business, there are those like Brian Kuhn who help to regulate it.
We inspect Christmas tree lots during the Christmas tree season and big box stores and grocery stores.
Kuhn and a team of experts study the trees for pests and invasive species. This year, finding something they've been trying to avoid.
It attaches to the underside of the needles, and then it has sucking mouth parts that it goes into the needle tissue of the tree and pulls out nutrients from the trees.
Elongate hemlock scale.
So it slowly degrades the tree over time, causes yellowing of those lower branches.
The scale looks like this and was brought to Wisconsin from the East Coast, where Kuhn says some tree dealers find their supply.
These products move interstate, they move internationally, and they can bring pests to their neighborhood, to their yard. And
now Kuhn and DATCAP are asking you to check your trees and your wreaths for this stuff. They say best practice is to bag your tree and throw it out, or if you can, burn it, to make sure the elongated hemlock stays out.
This is another of the many invasive species that we don't have in the state that we're trying to keep out.
Now, Kuhn says the main way this scale can travel is if you leave your tree in your yard or a compost pile. He says come springtime, that infected tree could spread throughout your entire neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that. That's interesting. I hadn't heard about that before. So flip over the side of the leaf and take a look at it.
Yeah, check that tree.
All right. Thank you, Adam. The Madison man accused of killing his sister on the west side of town on Christmas Eve is being held on a $1 million cash bond. According to a criminal complaint, the suspect, Joseph Green, called 911 after the crime and then quickly hung up. When police arrived on the scene on South Midvale Boulevard, they found Sheila Green's body riddled with 15 gunshot wounds, but the suspect was not in the house. They tracked him to his Madison apartment. The complaint says officers found a pair of yellow leather gloves and a handgun in the dumpster outside the building. The bullets inside the gun matched the shell casings at the crime scene. A visitor to a Wisconsin Dells resort has been charged with a hate crime after allegedly admitting that he assaulted a man based on his race in a bar at the resort over the weekend. The Baraboo News-Republic reports 34-year-old Bradley Davis of Hales Corners was charged earlier this week with felony aggravated battery. It happened at Mount Olympus. He's accused of punching the victim numerous times in the face until he passed out and fell to the floor and kicking him in the face while he was down. An update to a story we first told you about last night at 10. Police in Milwaukee have found the vehicle involved in a fatal hit and run on Christmas Eve, but they have not found the driver. The vehicle hit and killed 36-year-old Jamie Hansen while she was walking her dogs in Bayview. One of Hansen's dogs also died and another was sent to an animal hospital. A witness says the driver then ran into a light pole and another vehicle before speeding off. 2 people were hurt but are expected to survive after a shocking semi-crash in Texas that was caught on camera. This was the scene in Lubbock County, Texas this afternoon, just moments prior. First responders were on the scene of another accident on Highway 84. Now, keep watching this. It's still to come. They were working to clear the roadway, and that's when a semi comes up on the accident but doesn't stop, barreling into cars while troopers run to get out of the way. The truck flipped on its side and came to a stop right in front of a news camera crew. A Texas Department of Public Safety trooper was hit by the truck. Another person was trapped inside their car, but both are expected to be okay. Frightening scene there. It's been dense fog. We've had a lot of that recently because the weather has been so mild, but this weekend rain is going to be the weather story. Dave?
Yep, with mild temperatures once again in store for Saturday and Sunday. Any precipitation really that we see this weekend will be in the form of rain. Right now, quiet across southern Wisconsin on Doppler track, but as we zoom out, we could see our storm system taking shape and moving through portions of Nebraska, Kansas into South Dakota as it exits the Rocky Mountains. A live look in Madison and the Edgewater Skycam at mostly clear skies. Temperatures have dipped into the mid-20s with mostly cloudy skies, calm winds, so not much of a wind chill out there. Those temperatures will continue to climb through the 30s overnight, and with clouds in tow tomorrow morning, we'll see that rain develop during the mid to late morning hours. Rain a good bet for the afternoon and evening as well. But we could be talking about some heavy rain during the overnight hours and even a few thunderstorms. We'll take a look at that possibility in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. A 40-year-old man wanted in a fatal home invasion in Racine County has been arrested. The sheriff says Troy Hoffman turned himself in today. Last night, officials say Hoffman crashed his car into a car parked in the driveway of a home in Wind Lake. He fired multiple shots at the home, then forced his way inside and continued shooting. A 40-year-old man was killed. More than a dozen people were injured following an explosion at an aviation manufacturing plant in Wichita, Kansas today. Emergency crews were called to Textron Aviation just after 8 a.m. The conditions of the victims is not known at this time. Wichita Fire Department says the explosion happened after a nitrogen gas line ruptured. The cause of the blast is currently under investigation. Authorities in Hawaii announced late today that they recovered 6 bodies from the wreckage of a sightseeing helicopter that was touring the Hawaiian island of Kauai when it vanished. CBS correspondent Danya Backus has the latest from Los Angeles.
Search crews have found the wreckage of a sightseeing helicopter that disappeared over the island of Kauai. 7 people were on board, including the pilot and 6 passengers.
We have recovered 6 sets of remains. There are no indications of survivors.
The helicopter disappeared during a trip Thursday to one of the most mountainous and remote coastlines in Hawaii. The Coast Guard says the pilot radioed the helicopter's position 45 minutes before it was due to land. About 45 minutes after the aircraft was due back in the evening, the tour company reported it missing.
It was along the prescribed route that all of the tour helicopters normally fly.
The tours are popular for the bird's eye view of some of the most lush and steep parts of the island. The company that ran the tour, Safari Helicopters, had operated for more than 30 years with a clean safety record. In a statement, Hawaii Representative Ed Case called for more government regulations of the industry, saying tour helicopter and small aircraft operations are not safe and innocent lives are paying the price. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. Danya Backus, CBS News.
Due to weather conditions, crews will resume operations in the morning. Investigators are still digging through the wreckage in Central Asia, trying to find out what caused a plane to crash right after takeoff. At least 12 people died in the crash in Kazakhstan, but there were also dozens of survivors. The plane slammed into a concrete wall before plowing into a 2-story home shortly after takeoff. 98 people were on board the Beck Air flight, and dozens managed to survive. A historic home built in 18 1997 burned to the ground today in Concord, Massachusetts. Firefighters struggled with water supply as there were no fire hydrants in the neighborhood. The 6,500 square foot home is valued at just under $3 million. The fire is believed to have started in the basement and spread to the attic. The homeowners were not home at the time. Looking ahead, residents in Illinois can ring in the new year with recreational marijuana. Sales became legal for anyone 21 and older starting January 1st. Illinois will charge a 10% tax on products with a THC level at or below 35% and a 25% tax on anything above that. Medical marijuana patients will be allowed to grow up to 5 of their own marijuana plants at home as long as they are out of public view. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is looking into past East High School Business Club trips after students discovered hidden cameras in their hotel room earlier this month. After East's DECA students found the cameras in their room during a trip to Minneapolis, the district placed an unidentified staff member on leave. A DOJ agent sent a letter to East's interim principal saying the department is collecting information on past DECA events, trips, and attendees. Flu activity is higher than normal for this time of year. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released its new numbers today. The report found an estimated 2,100 people have died from the virus, 300 more than last week. More than 4.5 million people have gotten sick from the virus since the end of September. Radio host Don Imus has died, according to a statement from his representative. Imus died this morning at a medical center in College Station, Texas, after being hospitalized on Christmas Eve. Don Imus spent more than 50 years on the air and is a member of the National Broadcaster Hall of Fame. His career almost came to a halt in 2007 after he made racist comments to members of the Rutgers women's basketball team, for which he later apologized. Don Imus was 79 years old. Still to come tonight at 10, your full weekend forecast, which includes a chance for rain. But first, we'll show you where a new hotel is going up in downtown Madison. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. We'll be right back.
For reliable weather day in and day out, watch First Alert Weather.
Welcome back, everyone. A new boutique hotel is coming to the downtown Madison area. The Moxie Madison will be located between the Sylvie and Breeze Stevens Field on East Washington Avenue. It features a chic industrial style with concrete floors and open ceilings. The hotel is anticipated to break ground in the fall of next year and open its doors in 2021. As the second warmest Christmas just passed, some people aren't yet in the winter spirit, but local ski resorts are doing the best they can. Without any natural snow, the resorts are left to create it themselves. Officials at Cascade Mountain say they're able to fill all 47 runs with snow, although the heat is melting part of that. But despite the warmer weather, officials say people are still out on the slopes.
Obviously, with the weird weather that we've been having recently, many would think that sales are down, but we're actually right on par with previous seasons.
The resort isn't anticipating a decrease in the number of people who visit. They're having to keep up with all of the demand, however, for man-made snow. Shipping companies are getting ready for millions of people to return Christmas gifts, and January 2nd could be the biggest day for it. Several shipping companies have dubbed it National Returns Day. UPS expects a record 1.9 million packages to be returned next Thursday. That's a 26% increase from a year earlier. The Times Square New Year's Ball has arrived in New York today. It's covered with more than 2,600 Waterford crystals. Nearly 200 of them this year have a new Gift of Goodwill design. That's the theme of this year's event. The ball is 12 feet in diameter and weighs nearly 12,000 pounds. On Tuesday night, it will be used to help usher in 2020. The warm weather is putting a damper on a popular holiday attraction. In fact, it hasn't even opened yet. The Lake Geneva Ice Castle, which is normally finished by Christmas, is only a quarter of its full size because the manufactured ice keeps melting. They make their own snow and they freeze their own ice. All they need now is a couple of weeks of cold. But like so many, they're still waiting, and as of now, they expect the ice castle to be open around January 10th. And they are not going to like your forecast, Dave. Rain is the last thing the ice castles need.
Yeah, rain and temperatures once again in the 40s and even close to 60 on Sunday in some spots. Yeah, not very winter-like, not very much like the last weekend of 2019, a late December weekend typically in Wisconsin. This is not. Here are your three things to know. We are becoming cloudy tonight in advance of that big system on the way. Soggy weekend for travelers across southern Wisconsin with areas of rain on likely on Saturday and then for portions of Sunday as well. I think if we do have outdoor plans, a Saturday or Sunday morning into the early afternoon seems to be your best bet of getting those in. And then we're going to be turning more wintry. So I do have some good news in the long-term forecast that the season is going to act sort of like it should into the start of 2020. Doppler track is showing that winter system with some snow, some rain, and everything in between moving through Nebraska into South Dakota. Starting to see some of those outer snow bands move into Minnesota and Iowa right now. We are quiet across southern Wisconsin, but give it about 12 hours, and I think that will change as rain starts to move in during the mid to late morning hours of Saturday. Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam, looking at mostly clear skies right now, but the clouds will be on the increase over the next few hours. Today's high of 38 degrees, not as mild as we have been, but still milder than we should be for this time of year by about 10 degrees. 39 in Janesville, the high, 36 in Waukesha, in Milwaukee and Kenosha, near 40 degrees, and 41 in Boscobel. Those temperatures, though, have cooled off quite a bit in the low 20s in the Dells, mid-20s in Madison, closer to 30 right now in Monroe and Janesville. Our high temperatures are getting a lot milder for Saturday and Sunday. Upper 40s for Saturday. We'll see those temperatures gradually rise throughout the 30s and 40s throughout the day. And we're in the mid-50s on Sunday. Some could get close to 60. Look at that cold front come through, though. We're in the low 30s on Monday, and on the backside of that system, that's when that cold air typically rushes in to these mid-latitude cyclones, which is what we're experiencing, and that could help create the environment for some light snow activity on Monday. More on that in just a bit. On Future Track, we noticed that we're pretty quiet until we get to tomorrow morning. That's when the clouds on the increase. really our models have been taking the start of that precipitation later and later into Saturday, which is good news if we don't want any frozen precipitation to start us out. I don't think that will be a widespread concern. I think most of us will be dealing with rain throughout Saturday and Sunday, but there could be some isolated areas of freezing drizzle very early tomorrow morning. But those temperatures should warm up quickly through the 30s and 40s. Our best chance of seeing that heavy rain will be late Saturday into early Sunday. Notice here these shades of yellow and orange, the heavy downpours, and possibly even some rumbles of thunder overnight into Sunday morning. And then throughout the day on Sunday, not much in the way of rain activity. So that's why I mentioned I think the best chance of getting in those outdoor plans will be early to the middle of Sunday, and then some rain showers coming in as that system continues to move through. The rain will change over to snow on Monday, and some light snow possible throughout the day on Monday for southern Wisconsin. About an inch to an inch and a half of rain possible on Saturday and Sunday, and then about an inch to an inch and a half of snow possible on Monday. So we'll keep it consistent there with our rain and snow amounts. Your 10-day forecast showing some quieter weather on the way for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with temperatures in the 30s, possibly some rain and snow activity for Thursday and Friday. After a quiet Saturday, looks like some more snow possible on Sunday. And those folks over at the ice castles will be happy to know that it looks like into the start of January, an extended stretch of 20s and 30s is looking likely. So at least
still
that's
not
good
bad,
news.
though. It could be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. Coming up next after the break, overtime hockey at the first day of the Culver's Cup. Kevin has sports next.
The 106th Rose Bowl kicks off New Year's Day at 4 Central on ESPN. Badgers and Ducks and Wisconsin fans who might not be wearing red and or the motion W full time. The dead giveaway will be the first time you say Oregon. My over-under for Oregon's herd in Southern California is 12.5. I'm just saying. Wisconsin's won 4 straight bowl games under head coach Paul Chryst, 5 in a row overall. Melissa Kim and I will have all-out blitzing coverage tomorrow from Southern California through the game, starting with a brute test of eating strength. Not from me or Melissa. Join us starting tomorrow on News 3 Now at 6. The Badgers, the reigning Pinstripe Bowl champions, but not anymore. Michigan State and Wake Forest in the play of the bowl season, possibly. Jamie Newman back to pass. This is going to be the double doink. Jacob Panashik deflects it off a linebacker's back, and older brother Mike going to score his first career touchdown in style. Probably his only career, but that's the way you do it. Spartans win 27-21. They finish the year 7-6. The Wisconsin men's basketball team still looking for a signature non-conference win and a road win of any kind. The Badgers 0-5 away from the Kohl Center. Tomorrow afternoon, they play at Tennessee, where the Volunteers are 6-1. The Badgers have 2 more non-conference games before restarting the Big Ten schedule. No time like the present for Greg Gard's squad to gather a little momentum or a lot of momentum.
It's a great challenge. Good chance to get a quality win to build on your resume. But it's, non-conference, we want to play a hard schedule really to prepare ourselves for the Big Ten schedule and what's coming ahead. And as you can see already, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, it's going to be a competitive league.
At the other end. Giannis resting his back in Atlanta as the Bucks taking on the Hawks. The Bucks didn't need him. Brooke Lopez to Chris Middleton, back to Lopez. Alley-oop, two-handed flush. The Deer up 10. No threat tonight. Middleton going to back down Trae Young. 2 of his team-high 23 points, and the forecast calls for Turkish Thunder. Ersan Ilyasova, 18 points, 17 rebounds. Bucks win 112-86. They are 28-5. Day 1 of the Culver's Cup. 3 brackets, 24 teams. Madison Memorial in green taking on Baldwin, Woodville, St. Croix Central. Free hockey, a shootout after overtime. Drew Bradley puts the Spartans ahead by a goal. No pressure. Wyatt Sundby trying to tie it for the visitors. But Wes Turner says no vacancy. Spartans win the shootout. They will play West Salem tomorrow, 3 o'clock at MIA. On the ladies' side, Madison Metro Lynx taking on Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Lynx in the white uniforms. Sydney Raths in the first period, controlling, dodging, keeps, gets a head up. The wrister lights the lamp. Lynx win 4-2. They will play St. Croix Fusion tomorrow, 2:45 at Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Marcus Golden got a late stocking stuffer. He's number 44 in white. Originally awarded a half a sack on this play last week. Well, the NFL changed it to a full sack, giving him 10 for the year, and boom, contract incentive alert. 10 sacks for the year means a $1 million bonus. I'm sick. We're back after this.
Rain moves in the mid to late morning hours of tomorrow, lasts throughout much of Saturday. Some dry times on Sunday, more rain possible with temperatures in the mid-50s. Snow on Monday.
All right, thank you, Dave. See ya in Pasadena.
Yes,
Safe
you
trip.
will.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend.